we can see here, based on the period of service that Dolores actually has, the final settlement or the end of service value was actually 0 because she's worked less than 1 year. So the system knows the period of service and considers that when calculating the end of service. If you guys want, and feel free to put this in the comments if you prefer, we can redo the example and give her a longer period of service and have a look at what that looks like for the end of service award. But basically, the actual labor law rules are calculated, and the calculation is listed here, and you're going to get a breakdown of how that calculation was done. Okay, so that should adjust the final settlement here. So now there we go. We do have now the actual final settlement value here, and when we hover over this I here, we can see how this was calculated. Okay, so I think it's 2/3 of the salary, right? Divided by 12 times 21 days for the actual number of period of service, right? To get that. That's that 12.
So in the UAE, I believe it's so I guess 2/3 of the salary would be the basic salary, right? So the basic salary with the days that has been they've been in employment for, based on each year, will be each month of that kind of basic salary that they would accrue.
Yeah, so that's the calculation basis here. It's, again, we did termination, and based on the period of service, this is what this person is entitled to as end of service for their period of service. Okay, so you can see also the salary basis we have here. This is the basic salary. This person only has basic salary, so it makes it like very straight up here. So for the salary basis, and again, the default settings were implemented, so we have the basic salary as the basis here for end of service. And we can see what reason we selected here. Again, termination by company. So the employee has full EOS entitlements. Period of service is clarified again down here. And then after that, we have the leave encashment calculation, which we already looked at in the vacation balance section, but it breaks it down for you again and gives you details of how this is actually calculated. Now, sometimes you have some manual adjustments that need to be done in the end of service settlement. Maybe one circumstance that could come up is we talked about that asset. So it was a laptop, I think. Let's say the laptop was returned and was damaged. So you actually need to or want to collect the value of that laptop or that asset from the employee and deduct it from their end of service. So if you need to put any additions or deductions manually to the end of service settlement here, you can actually add those as manual deductions. You can customize this list in the settings. For now, just for the sake of the example, because I don't have one for asset damage, we can put it in here. Let's say a laptop is worth $1,000, and we can say for a damaged returned asset. So this then will show up for the employee and for you guys in the HR team and for the finance team when looking at the final settlement. Okay. So the next thing that we can do, before I jump to the next thing, actually, sorry, additions work in the same way. So if you need to put an addition, whatever, an extra bonus, you can also add it in here. Same process, select addition, select the type, and then put the amount of the addition. Okay. So you can see now here the breakdown of the total end of service award, which is the end of service plus the leave encashment. There are cases where you're going to pay this out in cash. Maybe your next pay run is not going to happen or until later than that 28-day deadline. Maybe it's not necessarily in cash. Maybe it's a check or a direct transfer outside of the salaries. So you can actually even select to pay this out, or that this has been paid out already, so that the addition and deduction or additions will not appear in the employee's final salary. Otherwise, if we don't select, this final settlement amount will be added to the next unprocessed payroll.